the latest in our edition of our CTE get-togethers on a weekly basis. My name's Tom Mugno. I have Wendi Spellman here with me.
Welcome. Azamara. So for those of you that don't know, Azamara is part of the Royal Caribbean family of brands. So there's Royal, Celebrity, Azamara, and Silversea. So we're part of Royal Caribbean Group. If any of you have sailed on any of the other brands, we do have reciprocal benefits in our loyalty program. But I'm going to really highlight the discernible differences and uniqueness of Azamara. And if you leave here with nothing else today, it's really just remembering that Azamara is all about destination immersion. So we're all about, and just dream about this a little bit, you know, as we all haven't been able to go very far in 2020. But, you know, for me, it is all about going to Italy or Greece or Croatia and connecting with the people in destination, getting to understand their cultures a little bit better, and just kind of giving me a little bit of a different perspective. I live in Maryland, right outside DC. I tend to vacation a bit down in Hilton Head and Myrtle Beach, and did not even do that this past summer. So I'm looking forward to a new year and being able to travel on an Azamara ship, because when you're on an Azamara voyage, you're staying longer in port. You have more overnights in port, and which allows you to see a destination and do shore excursions in the evening. I'm going to talk a little bit more in the future slides about our country intensive voyages. This is groups of voyages that we have put together that highlight basically one country. So most of the ports of call happen in that one country. Again, the other highlight for adding value to your, not only getting this fabulous in-destination, in-depth exploration, but you're also getting inclusive amenities. You're getting your gratuities included. You're getting your international beer, wines, your coffees, teas, standard spirits, all of that is included. We have special cultural evenings, and we also offer complimentary shuttle service from the ship to the center of towns, depending on where you are, what country that you're in. So this is a picture, a classic 2020 picture. I will look back and say this is going to be a classic 2020 picture of the 3 Azamara ships. Now, Tom has been on an Azamara voyage, and so he's had experience on the ship. So right now, our 3 ships, the Azamara Journey, the Azamara Pursuit, and the Azamara Quest, are all in Glasgow, Scotland. So this picture was taken with the 3 sisters there, and apparently the locals are just loving it. They're just loving having these 3 Royal Caribbean group vessels in their backyard. So, you know, I look forward to not seeing them all one right after the other in the next bunch of months in 2021, because that'll mean that we're back to sailing. So you can look at the size of our ships, and you're probably thinking, wow, I wonder how many that holds on an Azamara vessel. So we have about 700 passengers and approximately 400 crew members. So it's really smaller luxury ship, small, slow ship cruising around the coasts of destinations. And this year we started going to, well, we were supposed to anyway, go to all 7 continents. So this starts to give you a little bit of a picture of what it's like getting on to an Azamara vessel, and we really like to refer to it as your boutique hotel at sea. It is really a familial feel on board the ship. You know, we had the fist bump culture long before COVID-19, where fist bumping and not shaking hands is a thing. Don't know if we're going to be able to continue with our fist bump culture, but that's how it is. And I tell you, every time you leave the ship to go on an outing or a shore excursion, when you return, our crew always welcomes you back home. And I will say that that is the feeling on board, that it is very familial. We have guests that travel with us year after year, and they want to go back and spend time with Captain Carl or Captain Johannes, or our hotel directors, Rijard, who's here in this shot here to the left. And now we actually put that on our website, so that when we have guests that are like, I want to figure out what I'm going to sail with Azamara, and I want to be with Captain Johannes. So I'm going to show you some of the pictures of the ship. This is our Mosaic Cafe area where you can get all of your coffees, specialty coffees and teas and midnight snacks. And during the day, I have a hard time passing through this area without getting a little sandwich or a little mini croissant, which is why I never come back from an Azamara voyage thinner than when I left, sadly. The living room is another fabulous gathering place. And during the day, if we're at sea, you see all those windows. It's a wonderful place to spend time and hang out and read a book, and or just kind of find your little corner of the world on the ship. In the evening, it transforms to either live music or DJs. So this is a great area. In the late afternoon, we'll have tapas and wine tastings. So again, this is probably it's tied for the den, but one of my most favorite places on the ship, especially if you can get one of these very comfortable lounge chairs. This is kind of where I go to hide out if I'm on the ship for a sales meeting and I just want, good 30 minutes uninterrupted. This Discoveries is our main dining area, and we do not have timed seating. It is open seating. Again, as we return to service, we'll see if that changes at all temporarily, but it's a really big dining room, just lovely. And this picture to the right is the bar area right before you get into Discoveries. On board, and again, I didn't mention this yet, but our 3 ships are almost identical. So what I'm talking about here, you're going to find on all 3 ships, except for this one area called the Den. It's not on the Journey just yet because that was supposed to be transformed this year. And as we know, 2020 did not look the way that we had all anticipated it would. But our specialty dining restaurants, which we have 2, Prime Sea and Aquilina. Prime Sea is more of our steak fare, and then Aquilina is more Mediterranean, Italian. This is a picture of Aquilina. Again, beautiful views. With our specialty restaurants, they are included for our Club Continent suites and above. So all of our suite categories get our specialty dining included. If you are in a veranda or an ocean view, it is not included, but it's really a small fee to have an evening in specialty dining. And for the 3 of you that are on today, when you book your Azamara voyage down the road, because I know that you will, just mention it to Michael or Tom. Well, Tom will know because he hears me now. And I'll add some onboard credit so you can have an evening, a special evening in specialty dining. So here's the Den. So this is an area that on the Azamara Journey and Quest used to be our very small casino area. And because we spend so much time in port, casino was closed enough, it wasn't a real vibrant area. It wasn't anything that was manned. So what we did is we transformed on the Pursuit and the Quest to this area called the Den. This is on the same deck as our main dining area in the Mosaic Cafe. And this is such a wonderful gathering spot, whether it's before dinner, you see the beautiful bar there. There's always a piano player in the evening going into the night. Groups and couples will always meet here and hang out. If we're at sea, this area is also transformed into, maybe it's bingo, maybe it's trivia. So it's a really, really well utilized, fun, bright spot to spend time in. So between this and the living room, these are my 2 favorite spots. So just a quick picture of our gift shop. I never have a picture of the gift shop, so I was so glad when they developed this. So that's open obviously when we're at sea. You know, I tell you, when I look at life now post-COVID, I really am excited about our fitness area because it's pretty open anyway. And, you know, so I think that this is an area that will be utilized well and set up well for when we return to service. It's on the same area as our spa and salon. So like everything's right there and easily accessible. So now I'm going to show you some of the staterooms, starting really from the top, our club owner suite. So this is our top suite. It is beautiful, huge veranda areas. And shockingly, these tend to sell fairly quickly, especially for our repeat guests, because they certainly realize the value. And again, remember, if you're in a suite, you're going to have specialty dining included. Also in our top suites, you get a couple $100 of onboard credit. You get internet minutes included. You get some spirits in your room, some bottled alcohol in your room. So this, with the top suites, you actually even get a little bit more. You also have a butler, English butler, every afternoon that will come through and have snacks and beverages. It's really quite lovely. Our Club Ocean Suite is the next one of our top suites. You know, and again, Tom or I can always get you the specific size and configurations of these. And then our spa suite. Now, when I win the lottery, this is literally where I'm going to spend a couple months. This is beautiful. And again, you have a soaking tub right there with, I still blows my mind that people can't see in, but you can see out. It is really a lovely category stateroom. And then here's our Club Continent Suite. This is a very popular category. You have a lot of extra space in here. And again, starting at this category is when you'll have the butler service as well as specialty dining included. Our Club Veranda Suite, and I'm going to go back to our Club Continent Suite because I often tell my travel partners and their clients to definitely look at the price difference from the Club Continent Suite to the Veranda, because sometimes it isn't a huge price difference and it gives you a bit of extra space, especially if you're going to be on a longer voyage. So our included amenities. I mentioned this at the beginning, but I'm going to reiterate it because when you're looking at this and you're saying, wow, they have a crazy, wonderful South African intensive voyage, it's good to keep in mind what is included. So again, your gratuities are included. You're not going to be hit at the end of your voyage for a big bill that, you know, for your gratuities. Wine, beer, standard spirits, your specialty coffees and teas, all included as well. You know, special cultural evenings as well as shuttle service. And we do have self-service laundry on board as well, which quite honestly is like the social corner on the ship. It's amazing. I've been in there multiple times where people are in there like doing their laundry, ordering a Cosmo, and it is pretty hilarious. So this picture always, you know, makes me feel a little homesick for our crew because I haven't seen them in a long time, except on webinars and Zooms like this, when sometimes they will jump on and join us. But they are very much looking forward to getting back on board the vessels and welcoming our guests back on board. They really are the heart and soul. They are the secret sauce to Azamara. They are out there. They are visible. They're always interacting with the guests, especially the captains of the ship. That's why there's been so many friendships made and people that want to sail with them over and over again. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about destination and highlight our country intensive voyages. So again, if you ever wanted to go to Greece and you think, okay, I want to go to Greece, but then just the thought of hotel to hotel and train and plane and car, whatever, you know, it gets a little cumbersome. So I definitely suggest get on your boutique hotel at sea and be able to go to these ports of call in one and only have to unpack once. So some of the countries that we go to during our country intensive voyages are Spain, Italy, Croatia, France, as well as Iceland is really popular. Greece, Norway intensive. One of our captains is from Norway, and he usually does this particular itinerary and gets to see his family member, and all the people on the ship really get a treat because Captain Johannes is bringing them to these great spots. And keep in mind, the Azamara vessel is smaller, so we get to go to lesser known ports, but quite frankly, the big ships just don't get to. They don't get into some of those spots. So I'm just going to highlight real quick our Greece intensive voyage. So starting in May of 2021, we have about 6-7 night round trip Athens voyages. So you can see by looking at this that, we do get to go to Mykonos, Rhodes, Patmos, and we stop in Turkey. We go to Kusadasi, Ephesus, and then we return to Athens. So this is a great itinerary. I've been to Santorini multiple times. I love it. And it's just, this is a great way to do Greece on an Azamara voyage. You can look at this and see the late nights that we are here. So when we're in Mykonos, we don't leave till 10 o'clock at night. Kusadasi, same thing. And then when we're in Santorini, we do tender in, because you're in the water, you tender in, it's a very short tender, and we're also there until 10 o'clock at night. So the beautiful thing about this is you get to experience a destination in the evening. What I've done in the past is I love getting off the ship and being able to have dinner on land in destination with the locals. This is a slightly longer Greece intensive voyage in October of 21. And again, 11 ports of call, which includes 5 late nights and 1 overnight. So this is a fabulous itinerary if you really want to do a deep dive into spending some time in Greece. And again, this is just an example of a country intensive voyage. You can look at some of the others. Let's say you always want to go to Japan. My director did that last year, and last September she did the country intensive for Japan. She is still talking about it like she just went there last week. It was so incredible. Okay, so while Azamara isn't known for doing a lot in the Caribbean, we actually have added some newer itineraries for 2021 for the holiday season for next year. So starting in November, right around Thanksgiving time, we're doing some Caribbean voyages, some longer Caribbean voyages. I honestly would love to do this one because I love all of these. I love the Caribbean, but I've never been to St. Bart's. I've never been to the Grenadines. So for me, this would be ideal to be able to go to Barbados. So definitely keep this in mind if you're thinking, gosh, what are we going to do for the holidays next year? Because can you imagine by this time next year, fingers crossed, everything is all back to the way it should be, and we can actually be doing these types of vacations and family trips without blinking an eye. So if you or any of your friends, are golfers, they may not necessarily think about, hey, I really like cruising, but I don't want to miss my golf trip. So we partner with, in my opinion, a company that's the gold standard in delivering golfing on board a cruise ship, and that's Perry Golf. So going into 21, we have approximately 11 Perry Golf voyages where it's a gangway to gangway approach. Bring your golf clubs on and you don't see them until the first course that you're golfing at. So you get to golf at some of the most iconic golf courses around the world. And the ship is not overrun with golfers. There's smaller groups of golfers. Sometimes there's like 30 people that are doing a golf package. But again, really cool thing to do. In 2022, it'll be the 150th anniversary of the Open. We will be taking you there on Azamara. Everything has gotten shifted because the 150th was supposed to be next year. But because it didn't happen, the Open didn't happen this year, like the Olympics, everything got shifted. So if you're interested in this, Tom can definitely get you. I have a flyer that kind of highlights all of the Perigol voyages. So this is just a shot of me, like in destinations. There's in Machu Picchu, which was fantastic, and then this picture of the bells and the church. That's when I was in Santorini, and then of course a picture on the bottom left is a picture of me in Greece. And I look at these pictures, and it seems so long ago that I actually was on these trips. I can't wait to actually be out there again. And this is my director to my left, the redhead, and my BDS, and this is when we were in Bermuda. And then there's the ship in Dubrovnik. So these are all the things that I love. I love to be just having fun with family and friends, eating fabulous food, and having great views and creating memories. So this is what I'm gripping as I head into 21 of like, okay, I'll be able to have more of these memories going into next year. So just in closing, right now we have what we call is our double upgrade offer. It's very, very, very popular. It's basically where you're getting a veranda stateroom for the price of an interior, and then a veranda plus for the price of an ocean view and on up. So the Club Continent Suite, which is why this is such a great deal, the Club Continent Suite for the price of a veranda. Technically, this is supposed to be ending on November 18th. And I have a feeling we're going to extend it till the end of November. So if there's something that you're thinking about or interested in, definitely start looking at it now. Because what we're facing more than anything else is things are really starting to sell for 2021 and going into 2022. So finally, again, remember Azamara is all about destination immersion, which means that we're staying longer in port. We're doing more overnights in port, and that's allowing us to also do night touring and night shore excursions because destinations look so different at times in the evening and nighttime hours than they are when you're out there during the day. And then that's kind of it for me. Are there any questions?
As I said earlier, I was on the Pursuit, and the ship was fantastic. The people are great. It really was a great trip. We just don't talk about the weather. The weather in the Med that time was not good, but other than that, it was really nice. The people treated us real good. I must admit, I spent more time in that bar area than in the gym area.
That would be me.
Yeah. So.
Well, and again, everybody, as you think about this, and I know so much of life right now is in a holding pattern, but certainly when you come back, whether it's today or tomorrow, and you're talking with Tom and Michael or whomever, just, say that you were on this webinar. I will definitely apply some additional onboard credit to your bookings. Tom, you can keep me honest with that. And, any additional amenities I can, but I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of come and learn more about Azamara. And I definitely would say, just start looking at our destinations, dig into our voyages and see, just pick a spot that you've always wanted to go to. Maybe it's Australia, and just look at our voyages that take you there. It'll be an unforgettable experience.
All right. If nobody else has anything else, so thank you very much, Wendi. And I thank you all for attending. And like we said, we are in the office. Somebody is here every day. So if you have any questions about anything or want to book one of these trips, we are certainly available to do it.
Thank you. You're welcome, Steve. Thanks for joining. Everyone have a great weekend.
Yes, and everybody stay healthy, please.
Yes.
And we'll see you in a better year, which might not be for a few more months, but it will be better.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.